Welcome back to College Hill Farm. Well, I came out and I was going to bush hog off the grass over the potatoes so I could put the potato plow on and dig potatoes. But I got a little problem. I came out this morning and my bush hog was on my tractor. That means that the bush hog's going to spin no matter what I do. The switch to turn the bush hog off is off. So, yeah, that's a dilemma. I'm going to have to address it. Some of you might say, well, since it's on, why don't you just go ahead out and do what you need to do, and then it's a safety issue. Okay? My tractor shouldn't even start with the bush hog on. So, yeah, there it is. So I'm going to have to get into this switch. We've had to replace a switch on the PTO, the power takeoff, which makes the bush hog run. We've had to change a switch before. It could be the switch, it could be the solenoid, or I could have just a wiring short somewhere. It's cold this morning, and cold causes wires to short out, but I could have had a mousey back up in there. That's what happened the last time. The mice got in and ate that switch up. So that could be another thing. So I'm going to have to address that. Let me show you what I'm talking about, how I came out this morning. Now here's my tractor. I'm sitting here. All the lights are up in here that tells me what it does. They're all dusty, but all the lights are up in there. When I turn the key on, pretty much all the lights come on. Okay? You can see this is the heater light. The heater light didn't come on, but look at that. That one doesn't come on normally. That tells me that the PTO is engaged. Well, here's the PTO switch. That's engaged and that's off. So the PTO switch is off, but the PTO is engaged. Now, when the PTO switch is off, okay, the tractor should start. When the PTO switch is on, the tractor shouldn't start. Got pushed the clutch. Okay, that is a safety issue. See, the PTO's still on. So I am going to have to get in here and get into this switch and see if it's the switch, or if it's the link, or if it's the wiring. There could be a whole plethora of stuff it could be down through there. So I've just got to get in there and address it. I didn't want to do that this morning. That wasn't on the plans. I wanted to dig potatoes, but yeah, that's where we're at. Now the first thing I have to do is take this bottom cowl off. Okay? So there's 6 bolts, 5 or 6. There's one here, one there. I thought there were 2 here, but I don't see one down at the bottom, and there's 2 on the other side. So I'll get that bottom cowl off and then we'll go from there. 10 millimeters. Yep, that's exactly what it is. Oh yeah, let's not do this the long way. Oh. I know it's not an impact socket, but you know. All right. Loose, okay. One. Okay, I'm going to go get my little container because I lose stuff if I don't. This right here saves me a ton of aggravation. It's the best thing you ever used if you're out in the field and you've got to work on something. This is the best $1.99 you ever spent at Harbor Freight, okay? This side holds all your nuts and bolts and all that stuff. And if you drop it, they don't spill because they're magnetically held. And on the back, if you drop something in the grass, you can rub this through the grass and pick it up. Worth a fortune. Put it right there. Get these bolts out. Finish getting these screws out. Okay, I've got this lower cowl, all the screws out. It's hard to get it out around the emergency brake. I may have to. There we go. Now, in order to get this other off, I'm not going to take all this loose. Okay? Let me show you what I'm talking about. See here? There are wires and stuff down in there, and I am not going to take all that loose. I don't see any new mouse sign, but I do want to be able to turn the key on when I disengage some of the other stuff and see if the PTO is off. But yeah, now it's time to get this off. In order to take this off, there are bolts, but you'll see here how loose it is. The bolts that hold the cowl on hold this on and the steering wheel. So now what I have to do right here is I have to take the steering wheel off. Okay, I got two screwdrivers. I got a little tiny one, which I'll start with. Maybe it needs to be here. There we go. It's there. I hit in the wrong place. Oh. There we go. Now, I don't remember what size nut this is. I brought a socket, but I think it's too big. Yeah, that was too big. Let's see if I got something over here in my toolkit big enough. Probably not. I'll probably have to go get a socket out of the That's the biggest one I've got. And it's too little, and it's 7/8. So that's probably a 1 inch. So go see if I can find, and it won't be 1 inch, okay? It'll be 25 millimeters. All right, it'll be metric. I brought a 24 and a 27 and a 1/2 inch ratchet. So let's see if either one of these will fit. There it is, it's 24. I figured it was right at 1 inch because the 7/8 didn't fit. Okay, that's tight. There's play in the steering wheel, so you really got to hold it in order to take this loose. Now it's set down with a lock washer. Okay, so it's just tightened enough My old fingers just ain't what they used to be. There we go. Remember, I don't think there's a keeper in there anywhere. I think it's just maybe it's this part. No, it's the whole thing. Going to require some gentle persuasion. A rubber mallet would be preferable, but I don't have one out here, so there we go. And you can see right here how it splines on. There are splines right there, and it fits down in those. Now taking this loose can be tough, okay, because this is right in the way. So you just have to do the best you can to get that up to where you can get to stuff. Okay? There. Now I'll pull you back around here where you can see right there. That's what it looks like. Looks like we've got some mouses. Look at there. Okay, they've been in there chewing their little butts off. Can you see it? This is what happens when you store stuff outside. Okay, if you look at that, every wire has had the insulation chewed off of it. Okay, so what I've got to do is I've got to take this out loose, take this out, and re-insulate every wire there. Okay, that's what's wrong. It's shorted it out. That's what I kind of figured it might be. This isn't the first rodeo that this has happened. See, the mice get in here and they love to chew on stuff. Okay, I mean, they love to chew on stuff. What is that? Oh, that's my tank, and it's loose. Wow. I'm gonna have to check that too. That's not what I wanted to see. That's just loose as it can be. Welcome to homesteading. Okay, let's get this switch off. Now I know this is going to be hard to see. Okay, all I have to do is take this switch apart. All right. So let me see if I can figure out where it comes apart. Okay, there's a push button right there. There we go. Okay, it's off. Then there are two clips that you just grab with your fingers and pull, and the whole thing just comes out the back. And there's what it looks like. So what I have to do, see, none of those wires are in two, but they're chewed. So what I need to do is re-insulate those. So yeah, let's get at that. Now's when I get to sit down and do a little work. You'll notice that the chewing has gone almost to the switch, but not all the way back. That's on both ends. Okay? Now, the best solution here would probably be to put heat shrink, but then I'd have to cut the wires and splice them and then heat shrink them back together. Heat shrink them. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do the least invasive, because I don't want to cut the wires. I'm going to use good old-fashioned electric tape, if I can find the end. Take this all the way back where I've got good clean tape. This tape's old. I've used it for years. Oh. Now, as far as getting the tape in around this, the roll, that's probably not a thing that's going to work out too good. So I will break the tape. And no, I don't put it on this way. You want to put it on such that it wraps around and adheres to itself. And what this is going to do is it's going to prevent these wires from touching, which was causing a short. Okay? So, wrap this up. Now, if any of y'all know how to prevent mice from getting into your switches and stuff like that in your tractor, I am all ears. Okay? All ears. Give me a comment, because this is the second time that the mice have done this on this tractor. They love, and if you'll notice, I'm going back and wrapping all the joints where it overlapped too. The mice love these wires. I don't know why, but they just do. I think they put some kind of coating on them to attract them. That's what it feels like sometimes. Alright, now let's get another one. Now try and separate them out pretty good. Okay, and I'll go ahead and do this. You don't need to watch it all the way through. I'm just putting tape on this, on these 4 wires to cover this the bare copper. Okay, and then I'll push these down because they'll help cover it too. Alright, okay, I've got 3 of them done. You would say that I could go ahead and just, that was enough, but I'm going to go ahead and tape the 4th one. It's just what I'm going to do. Alright, now I've got each individual one taped up. We'll pull those together. Now what will happen is those mice, now that these are covered, they'll come after these. Okay, again, if you know, I'm kind of aggravated at Fuzz. He's kind of let me down, my barn cat. He should be stopping this, but I guess I'm feeding him too much. So I'm just going to come down through here. And wrap it all to kind of give them a little protection from the mice. Some of y'all might not agree with this, but I need to work. I need to do stuff. I haven't got time to fool with this. Next time, if I have to replace this switch ever again, I will replace it. Last time it failed because this part where you do that, it wouldn't work anymore. It just all came apart. And that was 5 years ago. The mice had been into it then too, but they hadn't shorted anything out. They'd only eat like 2 wires. So there we go. There's something for them to chew on. Yeah, there's something for them to chew on. Now, let's get this back in the tractor and see if, now this part should be down, okay? That part should be down. These 2 things should be up. Let's see. These 2 things should be up. This should be pointing down. So when you turn it to the right, okay? So you know how to orient it inside the tractor. When you go to put it in the tractor, it goes with this part facing up. Okay, if you look right there, you'll see that there are 2 little notches. They line up with this notch and this one. Okay? Those are the 2 little notches that this fits down in. And when it pushes in, it just pushes in. In. Now plug it back in here. Okay. Now I'll worry about this later. I bet that has to be glued down, and the glue has failed. It'll be all right till I can approach it. Now this goes back down like this. Now, before I do anything else, I want to do the jack acid test. I want to see if the thing is off. So I'll just take my keys, set that up there like that, put my keys in it, if I can find out what I've done with them, and turn the key on and see if the thing is off. Okay, let's get my key in here. And if you'll look, right here is the PTO light. And see, I turn that on and it turned the PTO light on. Turn it off and it goes off. So, that was the problem. Okay. Okay, all that's left is to put the tractor back together. Won't be an easy feat because these holes on both parts of the cowl have to line up together. But, you know, I can get them. It's not rocket science. And you saw how they came apart. So it's just a reverse process. So there's no reason for me to put it on video. Now, Crystal and I live a do-it-yourself lifestyle. We've never had a large income. And sometimes that do-it-yourself lifestyle is a little hard. And sometimes, like today, it's worthwhile. For example, if I'd had plenty of money, I could have called somebody and had them come out and fix my tractor probably this week, and took a week for them to get here, and then everything that I need to do with the tractor would have to wait for a week. So this way, I come out and find a problem, fix the problem, go do what I need to do. That's the lifestyle. Eventually that switch will fail. The other one failed at about 6 years, so that one's probably due to fail about any time. But I'm kind of betting that the other one failed because the mice had shorted it out. and it caused the switch to burn up and mess up. So I found it this morning. I fixed it this morning. It's time to go mow. Now, if you like this stuff, this homesteading, do-it-yourself kind of thing, be certain to come on out to the channel and subscribe. We do this kind of stuff every week, sometimes 1, sometimes 5 videos. Just depends on what's going on in the homestead that week. If you hit the little bell, it'll be right up here. It notifies you when we upload a video. We upload on Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays, and then a short on Friday or Saturday and Sunday, and Friday and Saturday, and through the week. So occasionally. Now, time for me to get this back together, get on to the next thing. I love y'all.